Once inside, I ordered 2 slices of pie. What kind of pie? And accompanying cups of tea, and take them back to our table. I'd pegged this cafe as the type to appeal to Lily, small and quiet, but well kept and somewhat upscale. Going by the dainty smile she wears, I don't really know if I chose right. It's very, very rare to not see her smiling after all. Nevertheless, I take a seat near her at one of the corner tables and lay down our small meals. Lily gingerly brings her head over the slice of pie placed in front of her, delicately taking in the aroma. Lemon pie, is it? Thank you, Hisao. No problem. The tea's just next to it, so be careful not to knock it over. She nods appreciatively, but judging from the slightly weak smile she has, the warning wasn't really necessary. I suppose the sound must have tipped her off to its position. We both took into our food without further ado, both of us remaining largely silent as we do. Lily isn't the type to appreciate discussion while eating, and I can't say I like it either. Eventually we finish both of our meals, and the last of our teacups follows in short order. Lily is the first to break the silence. That was very nice. I must say you've chosen quite well, Hisao. This is the first time I've really had much of a look around the city, so all I could really do is choose somewhere that looked nice. Sorry. I really feel bad for inadvertently bringing up the subject of seeing around Lily, but she doesn't appear to mind much. Quite the opposite, she almost looks amused at my awkward attempt at an apology. You are thoughtful, Hisao, but sometimes I fear that it gets the better of you. There is no need to change your speech on my account. Lily truly is pretty comfortable in dealing with her condition. I still hasten to change the subject, as I can't really say that I show her confidence in the matter. Have you lived here very long? It seems like you have this place pretty much sorted out. She quickly waves her hand in front of her face to dismiss the notion. It's nothing like that. I've attended Yamaku since the start of high school, but I didn't walk around the city very much because Akira, my sister, picked me up and dropped me off. Oh right, you mentioned not living in the dormitories until recently. It's quite a surprise. I'd just assumed she'd been living here since entering Yamaku at the least, which would give her a few years here. I've lived with my family for most of my life. Then I was just together with my sister. With my family having moved to Inverness long before, and Akira working longer hours, I ended up having to move. Inverness! Scotland! Maybe she should have a Scottish accent rather than this kind of Scottish accent. A Scottish accent, rather than the kind of slightly received pronunciation poshness I'm giving her. Inverness? Isn't that somewhere in Scotland? Yes. Oh, did I not tell you? My family currently lives in Scotland, the birthplace of my mother. My father's side is mainly Japanese, though. Huh. The question of what gave Lily her looks did cross my mind every now and again, but I'd never thought to ask. That answers that, then. To be honest, I'd never have guessed. Considering you have no accent, I'm guessing you were born here? Full marks. I'm thankful for my heritage, though, as without it I'd likely have not been taught English so early in my life. And what of you, Hisao? What about me? She gives a moment's thought. She probably should have thought of what to ask me before switching the topic. I'll go with, what are your plans for the future? To be honest, I haven't thought much about that recently. After my accident and subsequent months in hospital, enjoying my life here with you and Hanako has been enough for me. In fact, I don't think I've thought at all about a future for some time now. It seems all futile. This is your last year of school. After this, you'll have to fend for yourself one way or the other. It's not that I don't know that, I just haven't put much thought into it since then. She opens her mouth to continue, but gives a small sigh instead. She seems to have realised that she really doesn't know enough about my situation to go too deeply into this. Well, we all have our own pace. I just hope you'll take any chance you see. I understand. I think. I'll think about it. As we walk back out into the city, Lily takes hold of my arm once again. So, did you get any good ideas for a present? To be honest, no. I've never been very good at picking them. As absurd as it sounds, perhaps we should just look around? Hearing Lily utter those words throws me for a moment. Right. How do we do that? Alright. That's just the reaction I was expecting. It's simple. You can go window shopping and just tell me what's about. If something interesting comes up, then we might get an idea. Right, I'm still not so sure of this, but I'll take your word for it. I think we'll manage. Hanako, my sister, and I managed to do it well enough. With Lily's simplistic and rather optimistic statement, we set off into the shopping district of the city, and I start describing everything I see to Lily. Lamp. Post box. Don't think that's what it is. Right. It's hard to think of Hanako going window shopping. She doesn't feel like the type to place much stock in fashion, nor have I noticed her reading magazines or the like. In fact, all I think I've really seen her do as a hobby is read books and play chess. There's a housewares shop just ahead. Looks like it's mostly crockery, though. I can't think that she'd have much of a need for that. And what type of message would that send to her? Cook more food? That's not such a bad idea, maybe. Sometimes it's best to leave these things alone, Hisao. Once again, I get the feeling that Hanako's exploits in the kitchen aren't always successful. LIlly must have had to help her with that sometimes. Let's see, next to longest bookshop. That seems like a good one. She's always reading. Yes, but there are a few problems with books. I'm not quite sure what she has and hasn't read. What about a gift card, then? There's nothing as impersonal as giving someone a gift card. Money. Also not good. It's like saying, I don't know enough about you to work out what you'd like. I always thought of it as making sure they got what they wanted. Giving people gifts is supposed to show them the level of affection you have for them. If you can't decide on a simple gift for them, then how much could you think of them? Right. No gift cards, then. LIlly seems overly passionate about this, but I can see her point. If you're going to get something for someone, then you should put at least some thought into it. If I want to get something for Hanako that reminds her of us of every day, then what good is a gift card? In that case, what did you get Hanako last year? A porcelain doll. I thought that if she had someone to talk to, it might help her ease her pain. A doll isn't ever going to criticize her after all. So should I be looking for a doll shop? If you could be so kind to keep a lookout for one, I would be grateful. Sounds good to me, though I wish you'd mentioned it earlier. But if I did that, then you wouldn't have started thinking for yourself, would you? Once again, LIlly has a point. My brain is currently analysing every store we pass for gift options. If LIlly had mentioned a doll shop to begin with, I wouldn't have thought of anything else. We wander through the city streets, but seem unable to find anything that resembles a doll shop, or anything that I would consider a fitting present. The simple act of searching is starting to clear my head. The events of last week are starting to fade away, and I'm looking forward to giving Hanako her gift. If I can find one, that is. Oh, this is hopeless. I thought we'd be able to find something in the city for sure, and I'm sure we've walked down this street at least once before. That almost sounds like you're giving up, Hisao. I'm not, but it's a lot harder than I thought. Try not to be so restricted in your thinking. Maybe we should actually go into some shops and have a look around. That might work. I've never really been any good at window shopping. LIlly and I circle around the city streets once more, this time popping into shops that catch our attention. In the end, though, nothing comes up as especially appropriate. Hanako's tastes are often quite hard to pin down at the best of times, thanks to her intensely private nature, and those tastes we do know are hard to accommodate. Maybe we take a break for a minute. I'm a little exhausted. I agree and leave LIlly to rest against a railing while I go to get a couple of drinks from a nearby vending machine. After walking up to the vending machine and grabbing myself some lemonade, I find myself at a bit of a loss. Not really knowing LIlly's taste, I decide to take a guess and grab something that seems a little girly, but not too weird. Strawberry-flavoured milk. Back. I walk up to her and place the carton into her outstretched hands, making sure she has a grip on it before letting go. She feels out its contours before opening it, taking a very attentive sip. Her approving smile afterwards telling me I made the right choice. We both rest and have a quiet drink for a few minutes. A familiar soft ringing begins to sound from LIlly's side. She quickly apologises as her hand goes into her pocket and pulls out her mobile phone. Do you mind if I take this? It's fine, don't worry. She nods to me in thanks before turning away and flipping the phone open, bringing it to the side of her face as she picks up the call. Going by the tone of LIlly's voice, the person on the other end is no doubt some friend or other. I tune out of their conversation pretty quickly, as the snippets that LIlly says makes it sound like little more than gossip. Without much else to do, I find myself watching LIlly. She really is a pretty girl, which would hardly hurt her popularity in school. It's interesting just how much Hanako and LIlly contrast with each other in both personality and appearance. For a few minutes, I just lean back and drink, watching her. Before long, LIlly says her goodbyes to the person she's talking to, and hangs up, placing her phone back in her pocket and leaning back against the railings as before. Sorry, just a friend from class. I take one final swig from my can before throwing it in the bin. LIlly gives me her carton to throw away soon after, finishing it off relatively quickly. You seem to have a lot of friends. Oh? LIlly waits for me to continue, her interest piqued. I was just thinking that you and Hanako contrast really heavily. It's hard to imagine Hanako doing a lot of the things you do, or knowing the people you know. You seem to think about Hanako quite a bit. I don't know, it's just... she's mysterious, I guess. Kinda want to know more about her, which isn't that easy. It almost sounds like you're doubting your relationship with her. I don't think it's that. I just want to do more for her, being her friend and all. I don't really even know how she sees me. This statement seems to interest Lily quite a bit. I wonder if Hanako said anything about me to Lily during their conversations. I'm out to ask what's on her mind as she picks herself up from the railing. Shall we be off then? Her voice and expression show that she's playing games with me. Lily knows well enough that she's leaving me hanging. With a sigh, I pick myself up off the railing as well and have a brief look around. We have stuff to do, so I'll just try and get back to her about this later. Tucked in between a newsstand and a convenience shop is a convenience store, corner shop, whatever, is a small shop. I don't know, would it be a corner shop? I don't know. The sign above the door reads, Othello's Antiques, in decorative English script. It'd be easy to miss if we were walking along the street, but since we're stationary and I'm purposely looking around, it's just noticeable. Say, Lily, that doll you got, Hanako, was it new? Well, yes, but I'm not quite sure I know what you mean. Well, I think I found a shop. It's across the road. Oh? What is it? Some kind of toy shop? It's an antique shop. I think it's probably going to be our best bet. Really? I didn't know we even had one of those near here. Oh, neither did I. I missed it the first time we went by. It's pretty well hidden. Well then, it can't hurt to check. Inspired by this new find, we quickly dust ourselves off and head towards the shop. Lily's hand finding its way to my elbow for guidance. The store has a strange, musky scent to it. The layout is more like a garage than a store. Things are strewn around the floor without any immediate semblance of order. The shopkeeper gives us an almost bored look through his particularly small eyes. His face looks weary and tired, and his dress style is distinctly anachronistic. He gives us a polite nod of welcome before going back to his book. Lily holds tightly onto my arm, and I find myself having to split my efforts between making sure we don't miss a potential gift for Hanako, and making sure Lily doesn't inadvertently bump into anything. The task is quite difficult given the haphazard way the shop is laid out, and the many things poking out of the shelves thereon or sitting on pieces of furniture, but eventually we safely arrive at an old desk covered in dolls and teddy bears. I think this is the right place. There's pretty much every kind of doll you could imagine. That should make the choice much simpler. Could you please pick one for me, Hisao? I had a feeling that it would come to this. I picture Hanako in my mind and try to imagine which of the dolls before me would suit her the best. My eyes wander across the collection. Each one is exquisite as the one before it. The sheer number of styles is boggling, but eventually one catches my eye. Here, what about this one? I pick up a small porcelain doll that looks to be at least somewhat affordable. Dressed in a Victorian-era green dress with a little brown hat sitting atop its blonde hair, it looks a little like Lily. I gently pass it to her, who delicately feels her way around the object while wearing a look of slight concentration. It certainly feels beautiful. Do you think it would suit Hanako, in your opinion? I think it would. It could look good in her room. In that case, I'll trust your judgment. Will you be getting her something as well, or shall this be a shared gift? I'm not sure. I think I should get her something myself, but I don't think getting her another doll is such a great idea. Maybe... I let my voice trail off as I look around the shop. Resting on a writing table not far from us is a decorative box that catches my eye. Wait here. I think I've found something. My, that was fast. I gingerly walk through a collection of crystal glassware and pick up the box. The wooden sides are covered in carvings depicting ancient battles around a castle. It's a chess set. The top, however, looks far too familiar. Alternating squares of white and black varnished wood are arranged on the lid. It's a chess set. That's a really nice item. It's a chess set from overseas. The shop owner's sudden appearance startles me a little. I didn't see him approaching at all. I suppose he's trying to help us because we don't really look like we know what we're looking for. Or, on the other hand, maybe he wants to keep an eye on us because he suspects we might shoplift instead. I'm looking for a present for a friend. Oh, I see. In that case, this chess set would make a fight. What voice are you doing, man? Make it up. Right, make up your mind. I see. In that case, Ah, it's gone. I think he was slightly more American, wasn't he? I see. In that case, this chess set will make a fine choice. I have no idea what accent he's meant to have now. Just realization floods into my mind. This is a pretty good-looking set, but this is an antique shop. They're not well known for their bargain prices. How old is this? This is a reproduction. My best estimate is that it's about 5 years old. I see. How much would it be? He thinks a little before telling me, which is slightly disconcerting. I'll let you take this now for 7,000 yen. I balk a little. I wasn't expecting to spend that much, but this does seem perfect. Then again, maybe that's a testament to how well he worked out how much he could get me to pay. Couldn't make it 5,000? 5,500, no lower. I'm sold. Oh, we'd also like to get that doll. The store owner looks over my shoulder, focusing on Lily and the doll in her hands. His eyes narrow and he visibly takes a moment to switch mental gears. In the process, his smile drops slightly. Ah. I guess that means that not everything in this shop is a reproduction. Are you quite sure you want that doll, miss? I trust my friend's judgment. I see. Oh, no offense. None taken. If you could please wrap it for me, it would be appreciated. Yes, of course, but it's 20,000 yen. Lily reaches into her purse and presents 4 crisp-looking 5,000 yen notes. Here you are, 20,000 yen. The shopkeeper dutifully takes them and the doll and proceeds to the counter. I take Lily's arm to guide her there. Are you sure about this? It's okay. I have the funds I need. As I said, I trust your judgment. I feel a little guilty on 2 fronts. Firstly, because Lily has just spent a lot of money on my recommendation, and secondly, because I have a feeling the value of my gift isn't high enough. Nevertheless, Lily does seem to get somewhat awkward whenever the mention of money comes about. I hand the shopkeeper my present and the money for it in turn. He puts the cash into the register before busying himself with wrapping the doll and repeating the process on the chessboard. Eventually, he finishes the gift wrapping and hands us both our presents. Please be careful on your way back, and do come again. Thanks. Indeed, thank you very much. The shop owner bows deeply to us as we leave. Well, it did take us all day, but we found something in the end. That we did. Now that the presents are wrapped, I'm feeling a little impatient to give them to Hanako. It's a common reaction to buying gifts, wanting to see the reaction of the receiver as they discover what it is. A part of me wants to return to Hanako, just to confirm a condition with my own eyes. So, should we head back? Let's. We've done a lot of walking today, so I shan't mind taking a rest back at the dormitories. Lily's right. Now that the need to find a shop is over, my legs are feeling quite tired. Well then, back to the school for us. I'm looking forward to resting for a bit too. Lily holds out her arm and I link mine with hers. Together we make our way back to the bus stop. Mutao reads equations and formulae to us one by one in his usual unenthusiastic monotone directly from the book. It's possible that he might be excited about what he teaches us. Sometimes he can display an awkward spark of passion for it as if he's starting to get into the material. Most days, however, are like this one. What we're covering is fairly simple, so I find it increasingly difficult to keep my concentration on him. It's not too long until my legs begin aching again, which only makes it even harder. I'm also starting to regret walking around the city yesterday with Lily. Since leaving the hospital, I've done very little physical exertion. Walking to and from the local corner shop hardly counts. Despite Emi's attempts when I first arrived in Yamaku, I've largely given up on the idea of ever returning to my old level of fitness. I've little doubt that's why walking around town for so many hours has made me quite sore. It's depressing, and it reminds me of one more thing I can't do since I had my heart attack. It makes me feel pathetic. Now, Ikazawa? Sorry, taking a sip because my throat's getting dry. It's odd for Mutao to ask Hanako a question, but not unheard of. She quickly jumps to her feet, a little startled, and immediately pins her eyes onto him. She knows that Mutao calling on her is rare, so all eyes in the classroom are going to be on her. This way she doesn't run the risk of making eye contact with anyone else. Yes? In this particular example of a redox reaction, the combustible methane reaction actually produces one more product than is listed. That product is... Isn't it carbon dioxide and water? I think that's what it is. Ooh, maybe it's not. No, I think it's carbon dioxide and water. Even though it's a softball question, she timidly waits a bit before answering, biting down slightly on her lower lip as if to keep her concentration. Heat? Ah, you're asking about exothermic. Okay. I was thinking only the chemical components, right? Yeah, exothermic reaction, right? This is an exothermic reaction, with the reaction giving more heat than is put into it. Pretending you don't know the answer even though you quite clearly do. Stop being like me. Receiving a nod from Mutao, Hanako takes her seat once again and gives a relieved sigh. A shaky start, but it's something.